Hey, what's going on, guys? Snow's here. Hopefully you guys can hear me properly, and hopefully the video
Welcome back.
is not
We're coming
too
to you
overwhelming.
live from Intel
The
Innovation.
Intel event is starting
the
in
audience
about
is
5
filing
minutes.
in, and we're counting down the final
let's
minutes
get all
to
that
the
fixed
opening
before
keynote.
we can actually
Our next
start.
guest
6
graduated
minutes and
high
38
school at
seconds.
only 11 years old. Now at 18, she has
Boxers
earned her
versus
master's in
Raptors.
data science from Harvard
What?
University and worked for 4 years here at Intel. Fun fact, when she's not writing code, she's
What's
writing
up, technical
poetry. Hear from
cyclone?
this inspiring woman
Hi,
in her
excited
own
for
words.
Intel event. Hope to get some
Hi,
art news.
I'm Ria
Me
Chervu.
too.
I'm an AI ethics
hey,
lead
what's up,
architect at
Jair?
Intel, and this is my job in my own
Hello?
words.
Danilo Alves. What's up? The Castiel?
As part of my role, I'm responsible for tackling 3 primary
Mecho
categories.
Man.
The first
What's
is
going on,
ensuring that technologies are developed responsibly, both for the AI models and the mechanisms that surround them. The second is helping
All right, so we
influence
got
our
5
internal
minutes to the
compliance
event. Usually
processes to
Intel events are
and the
pretty
third is helping
underwhelming,
influence the
so,
regulatory landscape around AI systems.
I guess there's that.
I've been working
Hopefully,
in AI for
we'll get
about
some
6 years
ARC
now.
news
I
for
started
some
my
reason.
initial foray into the
Maybe
field when I was
Intel
11
will address
and getting
the
my
whole ARC
undergraduate
being
degree in
canceled
computer
situation.
science,
That would be
where I
great too.
studied a lot of key concepts around big data systems, computational neuroscience, philosophy, and AI. I joined Intel formally as an intern when I was 14 and started to work on exciting applications around deep learning and reinforcement learning. I'm now a full-time architect that has her master's degree in data science. As a software architect, my goal is to be able to understand developers' pain points and be able to implement technologies that make some of these key concepts easy to digest and implement. So my goal is to be able to help develop technologies and also empower the ecosystem. So developers are able to use these to make their life easier, but also are able to voice back and help contribute to these technologies. Communication is one of those essential items as part of the AI domain, and to me, my passion is around being able to digest some of these very complicated topics and then be able to present that to audiences. One of the coolest things about my job is being able to identify and dive deeper into very challenging problems around AI systems. Collaboratively, we can start to solve some of these key problems, tapping into the expertise of some amazing perspectives around the world, and be able to identify how can we best prepare, design, and implement AI to improve quality of life. And that's what I do for Intel.
Oh, maybe. No, but in all honesty, no.
You heard it in her words. Now we're here with Ria Live. Ria, you were not only a huge inspiration,
kidding me?
but also Intel's AI ethics lead architect.
I'm going to look it up.
What personally excites you about Intel innovation this year?
Oh, thank you, Ravi. I think what personally excites me is being able to get exposed to a lot of this talent and learn from all of these different teams and showcase their awesome
Wait, that's the thing you used to do in 2020?
That's,
I ended up
that's
doing
amazing.
A set of 10 push-ups
now,
every
which
hour
demos
and a
are you
half
looking
to get
forward to seeing the most during the next 2 days?
Definitely the ones responding to AI. So
yeah,
all
he's
of them
probably
are super
doing push-ups right now.
Really looking forward to being able to speak to those, learn more about them, and assimilate all that.
See video cards.
That's amazing. Now I got to tell you, I've been watching you and some of your talks. You talk a lot about curiosity, and I have a 12-year-old daughter, Anjali. What do you want to say to little girls to inspire them to get into technology, to be curious? What are your words of wisdom for them?
Oh, absolutely. I think curiosity is like that central part of being able to pursue different learning opportunities. So I'd say the first step to curiosity is happiness. You're able to understand what you really want to explore and then go ahead and dive right deep into it. And then you're able to figure out, okay, this is where I'm going to go next when it comes to pursuing that curiosity. This is what happens if I fail. And having that kind of rock to stand on. That's what I'm learning currently is the most important thing to pursue your passion.
See them.
That is amazing advice, amazing advice. So this is your first innovation event? In person. How are you feeling about the energy and the buzz in the room?
Oh, feeling great. I'm just like learning all of the new things.
Skynet is here. Yo, what's up, Snow? What's up, Desert Locust? How you doing, man? Hello, welcome, Hergru. What's up, Exion?
Well, great that you're here. Excellent to be here with you.
I can't read your name, my friend. The Russian, Russian slash. I don't know what the
Thanks, Robbie. Man,
the
she is impressive.
font, not the font. The language is called.
In our opening
I can't.
We'll
read
have a host of demos showcasing improvements in both software and hardware.
See video cards.
Expect to hear about
Are we
some
just
new
getting
tools that will
clock boosts?
accelerate development.
No, not
and
necessarily.
Also new ways to collaborate with Intel to build stronger
I'll get to that in a
open source
second.
ecosystems.
Somebody said that the video's too loud, so I'm just going to tone it down
and
just a little bit.
We're looking to hear about ways to reduce risk and
Here you
build
go.
software sustainability.
I toned it down by about 25%.
And catch a glimpse into the future with a number of
Put the prices on screen. Yeah, okay. So this is the
All
leaked
right,
info
Robbie,
currently,
it is
and
nearly time.
essentially what we're getting
Can you give us a
is
sneak peek at what's going on stage, I feel like it's a great time.
Not great value. So I guess we'll have to wait for Intel to explain themselves, see if they have like comparisons with AMD, because Raptor Lake is a slightly different architecture, just like Zen 4 is a slightly different architecture. But all in all, the 13600KF, which would be the competition with the 7600K, and the 7600K has proven to be very, very strong as a competitor. Well, it's 309, so it's more expensive. Now it does have 14 cores, so it's more of a 12700K. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but essentially it means that the 13600KF could potentially beat the
for these guys,
the 7600X in multi-core, but not necessarily in gaming.
Okay,
because 14 cores and 24 threads.
Video Village
Video
Village, they're the ones that are putting together all of the content.
No, and 20 threads versus
and now I'm going to take you up on stage. So
6 core, 12 threads.
Guys. Oh, wait a minute.
As for the 13700K, always terrible value, and the 13900K, it's going to be about $40 to $70 less than AMD's counterpart. So,
wow,
I don't know. We'll have to wait to see if they divulge any kind of performance numbers. All right, so let's get back into it because the event is starting right now. So,
2022.
Just gonna go boom. And then
back to you, Madeline.
Thanks, Ravi. Oh my goodness, I love seeing all the waves and the smiling faces out there.
K and KF difference.
We have the heroes there.
It's like $20 to $30.
Here. The execs are here.
The K is the one with the integrated graphics. The KF is the one without integrated graphics.
Our audience are also here. Everyone, the time is here. Let's take it to Innovation 2022.
Zen 4 8 cores.
Please welcome
$399, no?
Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger.
Anyways, we're starting to listen now.
Welcome all. Good morning, good evening. Shana Tova to all of our friends who are celebrating Rosh Hashanah, and our Israeli talent just play a huge role for Intel, and Mobileye and our teams there spending the holiday with their family and friends. But to the rest of Team Intel, we are here and we're going to have a great event together now. And it's wonderful to be back. What do you think? In person. Yeah. In person in our backyard here in Silicon Valley. And a beautiful day today, so let's get started. And as the host of Innovation 2022, I have to affirm Intel's deep, unwavering commitment to an open ecosystem. And last year we said we'd innovate on future technologies in the open. We would offer you choice. We'd help drive industry-shaping standards. And, as we said, we have to make them more secure. These platforms have to be things that you can trust in and build your platforms and businesses upon. And over the next 2 days, we're going to show you our progress, but also look into the future in these areas as well. And we have a ton of news for you today in hardware, software, chip design, security.
You look so excited.
Developer platforms, and everything the industry has to offer. We're going to geek out. Did you get it? Right? Okay, all you geeks in the room, if you don't get it, right, go back and check your ASCII coding again, right? This is geek in ASCII, right? So, and we're going to have some expected guests, but some unexpected guests as well. And we're going to have a great show for you this week. You can think about this as a keynote in 2 parts, right? You got me today, and you got Greg Lavender, our CTO, tomorrow, talking about many of our software-first and developer-focused activities. And for those here on site, join us in our innovation zone, where we're going to have some geeky demonstrations, get to look firsthand. And for those of you online, wish you were here, but the online experience is going to be great. Stay on afterward for expanded coverage, and you don't want to miss it. So let's get started. We're in this new era.
He's just excited.
And it may not be quite post-pandemic, but we're starting to see our way to the other side of it. And through this period of time, we have seen the increasingly critical role that technology plays in every aspect of human existence. Everything is going digital. how we work, how we learn, how we rest, how we care for each other, how we worship, how we live in society and in community together. In this digital era, we continue to witness the magic of technology, our ability to push forward with innovation, discovery, and growth. And this is driven by what I like to call the superpowers, these foundational technologies that are profoundly shaping how we experience the world, and it creates this bridge from the analog, from the physical to the digital world. It enables us to simulate, to create the digital twin of everything that we do. You know, one of those, compute. And since the 4004, we've just been pushing compute into everything. Connectivity, everyone and everything is becoming connected. Infrastructure with unlimited scale of cloud, but increasingly with edge, unlimited reach for capacity as well as low latency and bandwidth. And AI intelligence everywhere, turning this infinite data into actionable insights. You know, and I've been framing these 4 superpowers for a while, and then in conversation with some industry peers, and in particular a conversation with Thomas Friedman, the Pulitzer Prize winning, New York Times author, he convinced me I was missing one. Sensing. And everything that we compute and connect is now becoming increasingly able to sense. We see objects and even be able to see things that you can't see, right? Hear things, know exactly where you are, and increasingly be able to feel, taste, right? All of our senses. And I want an augmented reality where all of my senses become digitally enhanced as well. And even my infirmities, like here's my hearing aid, part of our family, right? We lose our hearing, but now, what did she say again? I know more about you than you think I know. Even my disabilities become sensory devices to make my everyday better. Each one of these 5 powerfully, individually, just changing. But as you think about it, more sensing means more compute, more compute means more connectivity, more infrastructure, more data over that infrastructure, more AI, which leads to more use cases, right? They're reinforcing, accelerating, empowering each other to unlock even more powerful possibilities in the future. It also changes how we think about our business as well. And how we think about chip design and, the role that we play in this industry. And with that, we launched Intel Foundry Services, a key part of our IDM 2.0 strategy to help meet this growing demand for advanced global semiconductors. And we've committed to a strategy of helping to build a more balanced and resilient supply chain for the world.
At this point in the presentation,
and its heart, of course, is Moore's Law. And for decades now, I've been in the debate, is Moore's Law dead? And the answer is no. And with advances in transistors with RibbonFET, advances in power delivery with PowerVia, right? With breakthroughs in lithography with high-INA lithography, the core of semiconductor manufacturing, with advanced packaging technologies. We aspire from today about 100 billion transistors on a single package. By the end of the decade, 1 trillion transistors. 1 trillion transistors in a single package. And we are on schedule or ahead of schedule on this audacious strategy that we have said 5 nodes in 4 years. Normally it takes 2 years for a node. We're going to do 5 in 4 years. Are these Intel folks crazy? No, we are just torridly moving to the future. And our 18A, right, the key one where we'll assert as unquestioned leadership, the PDK 0.3 is in the hands of developers today, and we expect our first test chip taped out against that before the end of the year. We will not rest until the periodic table is exhausted. We will continue to be the stewards of Moore's Law into the future. You got it? Alive and well. But of course, to be a great foundry, you got to be a great wafer foundry. And we're going to continue to work to grow that semiconductor demand, build more capacity, work with our customers as a foundry. And we've announced our intention to acquire Tower Semiconductor, combined with IFS, we will have a global, diverse, end-to-end, and one of the richest portfolios of differentiated technologies available today as a foundry provider. But our vision is much greater than that. IFS will usher in what we call the systems foundry era. And as the focus moves from system on chip to system in a package, and we see a systems foundry having 4 components to it. First, you got to be a great wafer foundry. We're not debating that. Got to be good at that. But second, right, it has to be great at packaging. And even Gordon Moore, when he wrote his original paper on Moore's Law, he foresaw this day of reckoning where we'll need to build larger systems out of smaller functions, combining heterogeneous and customized solutions. And with 2, 2.5, and 3D stacking, this gives us the ability to increase the number of transistors per device. Third, software. And as you're going to hear from Greg tomorrow, he calls it software, the soul of the machine. And we'll take these stable software interfaces that allow you to accelerate your product development and delivery. Open source software stack, the key software components that unleash the different chiplets, accelerators, and abstractions. And we're increasingly going to make that common through our one API solution. And as we like to say at Intel now, software-defined, silicon-enhanced. Software comes first. And the fourth, a vibrant chiplet ecosystem. And just as Intel has played this pivotal role in standards, like PCIe and Ethernet and Wi-Fi over time, and my granddaughter, when she plugs in a USB stick into the computer, she says, "Thank you, Papa."
Wow.
Yeah.
His daughter says that?
You may like me, but I care more what she has to say. And once again, we're going to lead an ecosystem to create the standardization of a chiplet architecture, and we'll call it the Universal Chiplet Interconnect Ecosystem, or UCIe. And we already have more than 80 companies who are participating in this creation of this open chiplet environment. And you can imagine something like this. Hey, I'm getting a few of my chiplets from Intel, but hey, I have a few of these pieces that I've also developed on TSMC. And maybe my power delivery components are coming from TI, and I have some of my I/O chips that I'm doing on global foundries. Bring those together, and of course, Intel with the most advanced packaging technology, assemble those together for me and be my supply chain manager. So we're going to bring all of those pieces together, enabling what we'd say is this next generation of the chiplet ecosystem. And let's just hear from a few other voices that are joining with us in this vision.
At TSMC, our goal is to provide an open silicon platform to unleash customers' innovation. That's why TSMC fully supports moving the UCIe ecosystem forward.
The future is chiplets. This is why Samsung supports the UCIe goal to establish an ecosystem of chiplets that will drive the next era of heterogeneous computing. Thank you.
So with Intel, Samsung, and TSMC, you've just heard the 3 largest silicon manufacturing companies committing to a common direction. And as part of our IDM 2.0 strategy, we're committed to investing in the fundamental capabilities to enable this ecosystem, but also the next generation of talent as well. And part of our $1 billion IFS Innovation Fund is directly investing in companies and startups and disruptive technologies. And we've had phenomenal response, even in the early days of forming this ecosystem. We've already made our first investments and many more in the pipeline to come. But we also have this desire to expand the talent much more deeply. And we have our university shuttle program that we've been running with a select set of public and educational institutions to enable them to have modern technology for their classes, training and talent development. And I've given our team an audacious goal to scale our shuttle program, the passengers, the number of chips that we're doing, 100x. Working with 100x. Did you hear that again? Right, 100x increase in our shuttle capabilities. Professors, researchers, students, all of them being trained on the latest EDA tools and having access to shuttles that they can be sending their chips to manufacturing on the most leading process technologies in the industry. And I think of this just like when I did my first DRAM design and sent it to Moses for manufacturing. 40 years ago, but we want to build that talent pipeline for the future. And we're going to work with these institutions to radically increase the semiconductor talent flow of tomorrow. This is our commitment to the future of the semiconductor industry. Switching gears, another passion of mine has been in this area of graphics and accelerated computing.
Let's talk about
And
ARC.
we've been delivering integrated graphics for decades. But we've also known for decades that high-density computing, high-performance vector, matrix, the highest bandwidth requires a different solution as well. And this area of HPC has ushered into AI, machine learning, and core graphics technologies like ray tracing. And personally, I've been on this journey for 16 years. When I left Intel 12 years ago, it was the only major not done on my list of things that I wanted to finish. Well, I'm back, and we're now going to get it done.
Okay.
And with that, I'm delighted today to announce our GPUs. We got not one, but 3 of them to describe today.
Nice.
And the first GPU is our Intel Data Center GPU Flex.
Jesus
and this product,
I thought he was going to come out with some ARC
exponentially
stuff.
For a range of workloads, visual cloud tasks, media transcode, cloud gaming, inference and training, and AI.
What a debate.
And this is industry's first hardware-based AV1 encoder for a data center GPU, delivering more than 30% bandwidth savings or more streams per platform, however it's monetized by the cloud provider.
So bad.
Open and full stack API access. And today, Flex Series is supporting one API, of course, but enabling frameworks like TensorFlow, OpenVINO, and PyTorch as well. GPU Flex.
He said 3 GPUs, so I'm still, there could be the A770 popping out. But then
But
we're
of
at
course,
A750.
the first cousin of big AI and data centers, high-performance computing. And this is our Ponte Vecchio, our flagship high-performance GPU that uses our most advanced IP, really setting the pace for our most advanced packaging technologies, petaflops of performance. And together, Ponte Vecchio, along with our Sapphire Rapids HBM, our 4th generation Xeon.
Yes, so that's the 3. The 2 GPU Flex ones and this one.
Is the computing brains behind the Aurora supercomputer. And together we're delivering these blades right now to Argonne National Labs to build the world's highest performance supercomputer.
You haven't missed anything, Odin.
But where did it all begin? You can't talk about GPUs without talking about gaming. And for a long time, we've been seeing that the average price of GPUs is right in this, $200–300 range. But what's happened the last few years? They've just gotten super expensive, and we don't think they need to.
Oh, that's ARC on the table.
Today, we're about to fix that. And we are, with gamers, delivering and hearing the complaints of high prices. So you should be frustrated because you are losing out as the gaming community. And today, we're fixing that. Here is the ARC 770. Right, this is our top-end gaming desktop GPU packed with features, delivers 65% better peak performance in ray tracing versus competition. We've come a long way. Let's take a look at the A770.
It should be better than the 3060. So $299 and under for price to performance. Because this is Intel's chance, okay? They're about to tell us what the price is. If it's $299, preferably under $299, it might be worth it. The RTX 3060 is not $418. It's at an MSRP of $329. That's the price it should be at. Keep that in mind. Put your price predictions in the comments now.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm powering mine up. Hopefully this next weekend.
Sorry.
And
starting
it'll be
at
available
$329.
October 12th, starting at $329 price point, and the cards are on the way to our reviewers right now.
Bye-bye, ARC. Good try. Jesus.
So I hope you're excited. I know I sure am. And you're all here at Innovation because you share my passion. the shared passion
it's
to
gone.
continue
It's
to innovate,
goodbye,
to
ARC.
continue
ARC
to
is
use
not worth
technology
it.
as a force for good, to
Intel doesn't
serve the
have the
technologists on the front
driver
lines, and
history to
use
be able to compete
technology
with
to
a
solve
3060.
today's
The
biggest
3060 will
problems.
eventually get back down.
And we've been around
the
for
ARC
a little bit over 50
GPU
years.
consumes
and we're the
more
company
power.
that puts silicon
it makes
into
no sense
Silicon
at
Valley.
329.
And I
Hopefully,
remember
the
as a
moment
young
it lands on
technician, when I
Newegg,
walked into
Newegg does some
Intel,
kind of
I
discount.
was
This has
so
happened with other
impressed by the
products.
technology leaders
But at
that they were
329,
there.
there's no
I
way
thought
it's
I had
selling.
entered the sacred place, going into the temple of technology, where everyone was maniacally focused on what technology could be.
I
and
haven't
how it
received
truly
any
could
GPUs
change
for review. My
the world.
channel is too small,
And with
I
that,
guess.
I want to bring on stage a young, bright technologist who embodies that passion to harness technology as a force for good. Ria Cherevue, right, graduated high school at 11, started working at Intel as an intern at 14, the same year she received her undergraduate degree from Harvard.
I thought
She's
this
a
only happened in
whopping
movies.
18 years old today, the same
she
age
worked at
I
Intel
was
at
when I
14.
started
I was
at
working at
Intel.
KFC.
And you can imagine, on stage, I am now the underachiever. Please join me in welcoming Ria to stage.
She was a Harvard graduate at 16. I was still at the KFC.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here today.
Well, thank you, Ria. And like I say, boy, it's not often I feel like I am just like an underachiever starting at 18. Man, you've done incredible things already.
Thank you.
So tell us what you're working on now.
Oh, absolutely. So right now, I'm an AI ethics lead architect. My goal is to develop technologies that help make AI more responsible, trustworthy, and ethical.
All right, I'm checking out chat.
You and I have talked about the importance of taking on challenges, and not being afraid to fail. So what do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm ready to take these on head on.
329, not bad. I am a chill.
Okay. Let's talk about this
category.
vast
And that it's
community,
better
this
than the
vast
3060,
universe
so
of
that price
tools
is
and
worth it.
technologies we're making available to
but it's just 2
innovators
years
and
too
developers
late,
like you,
in my
Ria,
opinion.
and how we want to continue to provide easy, affordable access to the latest
Although,
stuff. And we want to help you
considering that
get
the
your
RTX
hands into it
3000
without
series is staying
downloads or
alive,
tough hardware setup. And so
we're
to
not going
that
to see an
end,
RTX
right, and you hear
4060
more
for
about
at
this in
least
Greg's
a
session
year, in my
tomorrow,
opinion.
right? The Intel Developer Cloud,
Yeah,
giving
sure, it might be
developers
worth it
access
to you.
to new and
It just depends on
forthcoming
if you'd
hardware
like to take a
solutions
chance
for
on drivers,
pre-launch development and
because
testing.
that will be the
Absolutely,
big difference
and I think
here.
my peers are ready
Plus,
to get
NVIDIA
their
is
hands on this
rumored
technology and
to
start
come out with
innovating with
2
it.
new different
we're
versions of the
we're
RTX 3060 and
expanding our
3060 Ti.
Intel Dev
So the
Cloud
3060 Ti
experience.
with
We're
the
not trying to compete
GDDR6X
with the
and a
Amazon, Google,
3060
and
with 8
Azures
gigs
of
of
the
RAM.
world, but to win
And
your
depending on their
hearts
prices,
and minds
they
with
might be
early
better.
access
They might be more
of the
worth it.
latest great technologies that we're working
dude, I
on.
didn't even
And
graduate
today,
until
the
19.
Intel Developer Cloud is
I
limited
graduated
beta
early.
to select and pre-qualified
Well,
customers, but our objective
school
is to
is
expand that
weird
significantly to developers over time for their platforms and to enable the scale of this service in the future.
Absolutely.
And as part of this trial,
no
we're
doubt
putting the
she'll probably
latest
be
and greatest
CDO
stuff
one day.
out there. And you'll have
Maybe not
access
at
to
Intel.
our latest technologies, 4th gen Intel Xeon, also known as Sapphire Rapids, to Habana Labs Gaudi 2, right, to our advances in IPUs and our NEX technologies. And this is just the beginning. And you'll get updated this week on the full set of things because we want developers to have access to the latest and greatest.
Next year, late
awesome.
next year.
And I know that there's a lot of AI developer
Computex
kits, software kits, reference
announcements for a
implementations
September
out there
release, I don't
for
know.
developers to get their hands on and use right away. So, yeah.
So today, what I want to do here, Ria,
There's
if
a
you're
little
okay with
alien
this,
inside the
we're going to
girl's
set up
head.
a handful of challenges, and you're
That
going to
tracks.
help me solve
Men in
those
Black.
challenges today. And along this journey, we're going to meet a few other technologists, and we're going to tap into the open ecosystem, choose the right tools, and we're going to use it to build responsible solutions to today's problems. So, you game?
Absolutely.
Also,
Let's get started.
There's
So
a thing
our
in
first
video
challenge,
that where you don't
speed
put
up
things that look
development
like
cycles.
snow in a live stream because it's terrible.
And one of
or
the
even
great
in a video.
debates over the history of technology has been this
why are you
open
doing
versus
this, Intel?
closed, proprietary,
like ass.
protected gardens versus the open marketplace. And since the days of Grove and Gates and Jobs, this has been pervading the industry.
Oh, did
and
my mic cut out?
we believe that this idea of the persistent, expensive, closed environments, we are the champion of that open marketplace,
Hello?
and we are back.
Yeah, no, it
so
still works.
John from our demo team is here to help us talk a little bit more about this challenge.
All right. Awesome. Great to meet you, John.
Thanks, Pat and Ria. So The challenge is really speeding up development cycles, and I have a tool that I think can help us with that. The Neural Coder, which is a new feature of the Intel Neural Compressor, is a one-click, no-code solution that removes hard-coded CUDA references from our deep learning scripts. It optimizes those scripts for performance, and it benchmarks those optimizations for the best possible deployment options. Let's take a look at how easy this really is.
The 6650 XT
on
is
the
a
screen,
freaking steal
you can see we
at
have an image
$299.
classification workload
It's not
running.
quite
We're going about
RTX
300
3060
frames per
levels
second with that.
of
Rhea, you want to try the Neural
feature
Coder
set,
and see what
but
kind of impact
it's
it
a
can
great
have?
deal for
Absolutely.
just pure gaming.
So all I'm going to do here is go ahead and click the run button and confirm. And
Everybody's asking what
Is it
they're
that
doing.
simple?
What are they
That was
doing?
pretty
I have
simple,
no
right?
clue.
Let's take a look at the Neural Coder output. So the Neural Coder is now
I mean,
optimized.
it's the Intel
our
Innovation
deep learning model from
event. It's not
FP32 to
the
Int8.
Intel Raptor Lake
and
and
it's
Arc
really
event.
leveraging the Xeon Scalable processor.
So they're allowed to
with
talk about
Intel
other
Advanced
stuff, but I
Matrix
mean,
extensions.
that's fantastic. So what's going on with the performance?
you should do like
Yeah, so let's
NVIDIA.
take a
You
look
do
at the
one
image
event for
classification workload
HPC,
again.
so for
We're now
high
running at
performance
about
computing, and one for
3,000 frames per
consumers.
second, which is a 10.8x speed up, really leveraging that built-in acceleration with the Xeon Scalable processors.
That's looking good, John.
All right, perfect. So I'm wondering here then, with this type of one-click optimization, everything's good to go and all easy to use.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so maybe we can start talking about
Well,
security
not
now?
all hope
Right.
is
Well,
lost.
you know,
We still
one
have
of
to
the
wait
things
until
is that, you know, security,
they
right,
talk
you know,
about Raptor Lake.
enables the, you know, ability for us, right, to protect our models, to protect our data. And with that, you know, how can we make sure all this model work that we do is actually useful and the data protected around it? So can you solve that problem for us, John?
Yeah, let's take a look at this over here. Let's make security a little bit more simple. So confidential computing with Intel SGX protects your data in use. And here we've downloaded a curated container, and we're going to leverage the Grameen Library OS project, which with a simple script and answering a few prompts, you can protect your data in use. So you want to give this one a shot?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so this is another one of those one clicks. Going to go ahead and click here and cycle through these defaults.
Answer a few prompts here.
All right. Says it's being created.
Awesome. So all this data that we're using over here, you can now see on the screen that we've protected that data.
Amazing. So this is confidential computing. My container is SGX
Look at
enabled.
that,
I've got
locks
protections
flying
for my
around.
data, and I'm all
That means it's
set when it comes
protected.
to that.
Great. Optimizations and security.
All right.
So, you know, very good. You know, it's great to see that we're starting to get real traction from the open
I can
source
do that in
community
Photoshop.
to take advantage of these confidential computing capabilities. And, you know, we're working to enable a holistic view of confidential computing.
Guys, it's
you know,
stage
Project
fright.
Amber,
She's
which
like
we'll talk about tomorrow, a
13 or something.
third-party
I think she said she
trusted
was 18. They said
attestation
that she was
service, which
18 or
Greg will
19.
talk about. You know,
Stage
so we
fright,
saw
man.
the full pipeline today, right, coming to place, right? What we're doing with AMX as part of our Intel 4th Gen Xeon to accelerate, right, on the CPU as well as on GPUs, the capability, right, you know, making it, you know, complete and protected with SGX, but we're also working on tomorrow with TDX, our trusted domain extensions, which will additionally provide secure enclave at the VM level without requiring application change. So this helps everyone to have more trust in their AI and in their data. So, Rhea, you know, I think we've covered, and we can call this one complete in our challenger. Okay. So let's get to our second challenge of the day. You know, so we saw that we can do them faster, but how do we make them more relevant to the marketplace?
It's just general
these
stage
AI
fright.
models
Like
that
some
we're
people
doing,
just can't
you know,
handle it. It's
and
fine.
advanced, you know, without
She's doing well.
requiring an
She's doing
advanced
great.
degree in AI modeling. Do you think we can do that?
Absolutely. Let's go for it.
So for this demo, we're going to come over here to this side, and joining us on stage is Giannis from our computer vision and AI team. So, Giannis?
What the hell? Hey. Okay. I thought I did something wrong. They just put the music to 100%.
So, today we're going to talk about AI model development. And this is still a very slow and expensive process. Even then, only a fraction of the models make it to production. Why is that? There are several reasons, but the main reason we see is that domain experts are left out of the loop. So when we hand the model over to them, it may have drifted, making it unusable.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen these issues all the time. Accuracy drift, poor inferencing quality, and then there's also problems with the outputs of AI systems.
Wait, what are you talking about now?
And I'd also like to see a lot more collaboration between domain experts and data scientists, really drive those collaborations, get to higher quality models faster. So you have a solution here for me?
I have good news for you.
Okay.
Intel has built an intuitive computer vision platform that enables anyone on enterprise teams to collaborate and build models very efficiently.
I'm invisible.
Let me show you an example. This is the image of a coffee plant, which is behind the $400 billion industry.
Well, coffee's pretty important to me, right? Enough coffee, all things are possible, Giannis.
Yes, and we say developers turn caffeine into code, so. So we want to help those coffee farmers to use AI to build models that can predict the maturity of the crop. This way they can maximize the yield. So let me show you how you can build a computer vision model to do that. So we have this project here, and I have already uploaded some images. So let's go and open it.
All right. So a question here. I can only see a couple of images, but in a typical computer vision workflow, we'd probably need tens of thousands of images for this step.
Well, that's a thing of the past. With this software, we are using a technology called active learning to drastically reduce the amount of training data that the system needs to train. So let me go ahead and open this image here. And I will select one of our annotation tools, and I will draw a bounding box with my stylus around this yellow fruit, which is immature, this orange one, which is semi-mature, and this red one, which is mature. And when I submit those annotations together with some other annotations we did earlier on, the system will start a new training round.
All right, perfect. So what happens after training?
Well, it's going to take a few minutes for the training to complete. So for now, I have already created a project. And I will go and open a previously unseen image. Let's do that. What do you think, Ria?
Okay, this model's doing really well on this image. I am seeing a couple of erroneous and misdetections, though.
You're right. You can improve this model by correcting those misdetections. So would you like to try out?
All right, on the fly. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to start with deleting this little leaf annotation, and then I'm going to go ahead and navigate to the quick selection tool. This one looks over mature, and this one looks mature to me. All right,
You're a coffee farmer already, Ria, or an AI expert. Which is it? I'm not sure.
Probably the AI expert, but yeah, I mean, I definitely need that type of expertise, though, to be able to do this type of labeling, but this is how we can get them in the loop and then make sure that we converge to better models quickly and faster. Is that right?
Yes, and the most important part is that once your model is trained, it can be optimized with OpenVINO and deployed across different types of hardware at the edge or in your data centers.
Amazing. Pat, I love this technology.
Well, Giannis, thank you for joining us and showing off. This is incredible progress.
Okay, I'm back.
Thanks to go to the team. Thank you.
And it's a real demonstration of how Intel is building practical, useful ways to deploy AI. And today, we are launching Intel Getty, powerful AI for everyone. And what you've seen here is this new computer vision platform lets anyone in the enterprise teams build computer vision models rapidly. I mean, quite amazing. Big data, oh no, we can do it with small training workloads, and this is now commercially available in Q4 of this year, enabling enterprises to digitally transform and mainstream AI easily into their operations. A true breakthrough. Aren't you excited? Okay, there we go. So now we have how we create the AI models, but of course then our deployment of AI. And this is where OpenVINO has been extremely well accepted by the community and running on this range of Intel hardwares, a fast deployment, creation, deployment to complement Intel Getty. Hundreds of thousands of developers using OpenVINO today. And we have an in-market example to show you here today. Please join me in welcoming VP of Operations of Pressitaste, a Vision AI food management platform,
Discount Robert
Feddersen. Hauke?
Hey, Ria. Hey, Hal.
Pat, I hope you're hungry because the next live demonstration will take us into a restaurant.
Ooh, okay.
We help professional kitchen crews by eliminating manual estimation tasks. Our valued customer, Chipotle, focuses on enhancing the customer and the crew experience. Vision AI tells them how much inventory they have at hand and what to cook when to always serve the freshest food and to never stock out. All of this is running on the edge in the restaurant on small form factor edge devices like that one. We chose OpenVINO because other companies' inference-only edge solutions always just focused on the inference and neglected the CPU-intensive workloads that we need to run in the background, like databases.
Okay, that sounds great. So one of the first problems, though, that I'm encountering, and I'm thinking about that you may have experienced as well, is, how do you know how much
they're
compute
making me
you need
hungry.
and whether
That's
or
not
not
fair.
to use the Intel CPU or the
Oh, it's kind of funny. They brought out
Great
chips.
question. OpenVINO opens up
chips
a
and
huge
salsa
variety of
and
devices for us to choose
Intel
from.
makes
When we
chips.
pick a device, we benchmark it to
That's so
verify
funny.
that it has
Now
enough
please talk about
performance
Raptor Lake.
for this and future use cases, and then we deploy it. Then it's actually the auto-optimization plugin in OpenVINO that makes the decision whether to run our model on the CPU or on the integrated GPU. And the best part is, with each generational upgrade, our customers get so much more performance out of one edge device. The generational jump from Gen 11 to Gen 12 took us one afternoon,
Chipotle,
and it resulted in 30% more frames per second for our application.
Well, hold that thought. I mean, that's pretty powerful. Right?
Intel's trying to tell us that Raptor Lake is actually
so essentially,
a Chiplet CPU.
OpenVINO allows you to not worry about the underlying hardware, right, and allows you to be, taking, advantage of these capabilities. It's like having a world-class performance engineer standing by your side as you're deploying.
Absolutely. Let's see it in action. In the restaurant, we have those Intel RealSense cameras mounted above the make lines, seeing the food in real time all the time. And we use the OpenVINO to detect the corners of each of those pans for a dynamic region of interest. Then we use OpenVINO to classify the ingredients to know what we're looking at, and we use the stereo sensing from the RealSense to tell us how much we're looking at.
Right,
Oh
so
my
that's
God,
a lot
this
of
is so
models,
dumb.
that are in, part of a workflow. So how is OpenVINO helping you here with this much?
Okay, so let's just make this clear.
We're running multiple applications on just
They're
very
building
few of these
AI
edge
models
devices in the
for
restaurant,
Chipotle
from what to
figure
cook
out
when,
how
to
much there
digital
is
prep,
in
freshness
each
monitoring,
pan,
and order accuracy verification.
with high
For that,
compute,
we need
a
tracking
RealSense
performance.
3D
and careful quantization
with depth
OpenVINO
sensor,
gave us
a
a
camera,
speed up of 2x. We're now running
thousands of dollars of
inference
machine
from 2
learning.
vision streams on just one edge
weight
device.
sensors
All right,
exist.
so your performance engineer has a
You
question.
just stick
or
one
your
under
temporary
the pan,
performance engineer. If we switch around those
and you'll know
pans,
exactly
how
how
are the
much
depth
you have
sensors
of
gonna
each.
react? Let's give a
Let's do it.
challenge.
If I take out one pan
All right.
and shuffle them around a bit, we can see that the AI is orienting
you'd never do that.
itself again.
You'd never
and
do
knows
that. I
exactly
worked at
how much food
KFC
is available.
for like
and if
4
I start
years.
serving this delicious salsa, dig in, dig in.
I like salsa.
The inventory depleting, and the crew is being asked to replenish so that the restaurant never stocks out. Chipotle is using this
Chipotle, they always
computing
put the same
one-stop
thing
shop
first,
to scale
and the
their
second
amazing
thing, again,
operations.
they
But
don't-
don't take my word for it. Hear it
They're not going to
from
ask
Chipotle.
you, do you want guac
Let's hear
right
it now.
away at the start?
Hey Pat, hey Ria, and everybody at Intel Innovation. By utilizing Intel technology in our Innovation Center and test markets, we've seen a real improvement in operational efficiency. The combination of the full Intel architecture and OpenVINO software has alleviated manual tasks for our
Security
crew
monitoring
and given
to stop
managers the
staff
tools
from
they
stealing
need
the food.
to make informed,
That's actually a really
in-the-moment
good one. As
decisions.
long as they can
By
see the
deploying
hands,
Intel's
they'll
RealSense
know
and
who took it.
OpenVINO technology, we created a powerful and versatile AI solution
Intel
that
is the
addresses
new
our
KFC
unique
now.
needs while connecting the entire infrastructure of the kitchen. We're excited with the results we've seen in our test market and are aiming to fully deploy Intel technologies
Hold on, that's
across
actually
Chipotle
true.
restaurants
they'll
in
be
a
able to
large
tell,
market in
oh,
the coming
this
months.
person gave out too much guac
I'd like to
or
thank
whatever.
you all, the true creators and innovators in this
Chipotle
space, and hope you
and
have a
didn't
great
charge
show.
the customer. Wow. Well, I mean, they could do that with the weight sensors too. It's so stupid.
Well, thank you to
This
Kurt.
is
My
worse than the
family
NVIDIA
loves
launch.
Chipotle,
The NVIDIA
and now
launch
we'll
at least
even
had
have
everything
Intel
out by
inside
this point.
Chipotle,
First
so
20
we can go
minutes,
there more often.
RTX 4070,
And
sorry,
with
4080
this
12 gig,
delicious demo,
4080
I can say this
16
challenge
gig,
is
and
complete.
4090
All right.
in the first 20 minutes.
All right.
Then they had an hour and 20 minutes.
So let's move to our
talk
next
about
challenge,
whatever they
if you would, game development. So, modern games are complex. They have, interactivity, lifelike graphics, complex characters, story development, immersive experience. And these are big, expensive development and production operations to bring them to market. This is a lot of work to get done. And to talk about that, I've invited on stage today a world-class game developer, Inflection Games, right, who's striving to bring a realistic, immersive gaming environments onto the PC.
We don't have
Please help me
Chipotle
in welcoming Sarah Main-Waring to the stage. Sarah?
Hi, good to meet you. Hi, Ria, good to see you.
Oh, that's what you were talking about, the hover cube.
So I'm from Inflection Games, and we are creating Nightingale, which is an online multiplayer
Wait, at least they're talking about games now.
And when we're working with a multiplayer game that's online, we get networking bugs. And these can really tie up our development schedules when we try and debug them. And whilst we're very good at doing this, sometimes we don't have any shortcuts. So when we are doing our debugging for these issues, we are connecting multiple clients on a single machine in the editor, usually with a test level. And so here's the test level I wanted to show you today.
Oh, that's beautiful.
What kind of game is that?
Am I hearing birds?
There is a little bit of
That's not my taskbar, by the way.
And so this isn't the usual test level that I would use to debug anything in. This is a real Nightingale player level running in Unreal Engine 5 on this rig. And usually we would be working in a test level that's very small, contained, very empty, so that we can really drill down to what the problem is. But sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes there is a bug or an issue which only shows up in player-facing levels. And then we run into problems because we have to run these very high-fidelity, dense levels directly on our work machines on a game which is only optimized to run one client on one machine at any one time without the editor even attached.
Absolutely.
And so you can see that we've got some pretty good performance going on here. It's really nice and smooth. It's looking real beautiful. And on my workstation,
Who's Sarah J?
This would be what we would be getting in the editor. But we wouldn't be able to connect more than one, maybe two clients before the frame rate just drops off. But on this wonderful workspace, we've not only got one going. Oops, excuse me. Give it a little punch there.
No problem.
Oh, well.
One
sorry,
punch.
my keyboard is not working.
No problem.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see what I can do.
What's happening?
Yep, my keyboard is not working, unfortunately, so I can't tab to. Oh.
Crap. Oh no.
Okay, so we're switching over to some backup images, but you'll see. So we switched over to some images here.
It's real.
It's real, yeah. It's development problems. And so what you can see
I think,
here,
Sarah, we found the bug.
Yeah, we found the bug.
Okay, good.
But what you can see here is that we are running 4 of these instances all at the same time with the same frame rate. And it performs wonderfully. And actually in back, when I had a bit of downtime, I tried 8. And I was able to run 8 of our game instances, which are only optimized for a single on the client at any one time. And yeah,
but the game doesn't look
really
that
impressive
specifically
Absolutely.
interesting.
I think
What's happening?
Peripherals aside, this is exactly what we're starting to get into. Game development's just going to get better and better. And Sarah, to
This
your
is
point,
like running 4
to highlight a cool
instances
here,
of a.
I think hybrid architecture is definitely what developers can use here to make their lives much more
CS:GO,
easier.
which is
You
doable.
can hide the windows that you don't really need, so that your OS and your different platforms and applications are able to take advantage of what they do need in the front view, and hide or put away the stuff that you don't. But it's a beautiful test environment, and it's a beautiful use case.
And being able to connect 4, 8, however many we try to do clients at the same time just speeds up our ability to debug and get to these nitty-gritty problems that are only showing up for our players. So it's a big deal for us to use Intel's technology for this.
Absolutely, and definitely as part of that hybrid architecture, performance and efficient cores or P&E cores, that's definitely going to come in handy for these types of tasks.
Yeah.
Quick update, they talked about ARC.
And,
ARC starts at
we've prepared a little bit of
329,
footage to see what
and
Intel
now we're waiting
technology
for
is,
Raptor Lake
giving
announcements
Nightingale
and
outside of the editor.
information.
Can you run
They're
that?
currently talking about
it.
Nightingale, Inflection Games. That actually looks pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that trailer before. It doesn't look awful. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty cool.
That's epic. I caught Pat having a jump scare, but I am so excited to be able to play that.
Yeah, we look forward to you getting to get to try
Pat's
it
like,
soon,
no, you
hopefully.
didn't.
Right.
Oh, wait,
Thank you,
Raptor Lake is behind his hands.
Awesome.
Thank you, Sarah, for joining
He
us.
has a Raptor Lake in the back of his
Exciting
hands.
accomplishment with the game coming out, and can't wait because I know end users love it. Our platforms want to consume it and deliver it, and we're committed to making all this real. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you.
Why is he
Leah.
trying to hide it?
And as you just saw, the future of gaming and creative, immersive experiences like that relies on performant CPUs and GPUs.
You guys are
and
wild.
with that, today,
Okay, I'm gonna shut
I
up
am
now.
thrilled to reveal the 13th gen Intel
almost dropped
Core
it.
desktop processor family. Formerly known as Raptor Lake, the flagship i9-13900K is coming next month. This is the fastest, best desktop processor ever built in history, and it takes advantage of our hybrid architecture, both E and P cores. You know, we've enhanced the P core so it has the best single-threaded performance ever, more L2 and L3 cache. We've also increased the number and improved the E-core capabilities for compute-intensive workloads and workflows. Together, the E and P cores work together in a hybrid architecture to deliver the best multi-threaded performance. It has blazing clock speeds of up to 5.8 gigahertz, and the i3-13900K is the best gaming, streaming, and recording experience ever.
It's exactly what everybody's been saying. 15% in single, 41% in multi.
But make no mistake, it's the best CPU, but it's also the best platform. And our core processors deliver on the platform value proposition, state-of-the-art wireless, connectivity, advances in memory technology. As always, we are building and leading open platforms with and for the industry. And whether you're a beginner or an expert, the Intel 13th Gen Core delivers the world's best overclocking experience as well. And early next year, we'll release a SKU that for the first time ever hits 6 gigahertz out of the box in limited volumes.
So it's going to be the KS. Definitely the KS.
An industry first, a huge milestone for client computing. And I remember, like it was yesterday, when we first crossed 1 gigahertz. Man, you all are blowing me away. 6 gigahertz, what a milestone. Congratulations to our team. But of course, we're not stopping with the K SKU. We're going to give you the full range of PC segments, including mobile, and we expect over 50 processors as part of the Raptor Lake i9 family,
I just hope that
or 13th Gen
Z790 or
family,
whatever
and we
is
have
gonna
over
affordable
500
options.
13th Gen designs.
I'm back, and I think we should definitely get Hawk as
That's
that
the
version.
main issue with AMD right
Yes,
now.
I think so. Our game is definitely going to take advantage
bad
of
value
this.
because of
and
the
given the
cost of
sheer
entry.
power and
Gamers Next,
unique
I've been saying
hybrid
that for
architecture
months,
that
but Gamers
comes
Next has just
with the
made a video
13th
about
Gen
it.
processors, I think we can say with confidence the gaming
I
challenge
got booed
is
so
complete.
hard
Rhea.
on Hardware Canucks because of that.
Thank you.
Why do they keep taking out
So
that jingle?
let's move into our fourth challenge, and this one's for content creators that need a creative boost.
All right.
Hover Cube.
So I think we need to commemorate our time together today, Rhea. And with that, why don't we do a movie poster?
Okay.
Right? Pat and Rhea's greatest hits kind of poster. And have you ever seen any of the text-to-image creative platforms?
Well, I've definitely seen it. I could even say you're asking the master. I have tried so many different Stable Diffusion models. It's constantly growing. But Definitely something that only advanced deep learning enthusiasts can get their hands on. Very hard for content creators to be able to use that technology right away.
Okay, well, AI is unleashing this wide array of new opportunities for the creative process. And John is back on stage to show us some amazing technologies from Habana Labs using Gaudi 2.
Stable diffusion
and maybe we can help create our movie poster,
on
John?
A CPU?
Let's do it. So you mentioned text-to-image conversion, and we're running a latent diffusion model on our Gaudi 2 deep learning accelerator. Pat, Ria, you want to start the creative process?
Well, how about movie poster?
All right, I'm doing it. Stakes are high.
So the Gaudi 2 is generating 16 images here in just under 3.5 seconds.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Their model is not that great.
Can we go a little bit further? What do you think, Ria?
Absolutely. Let's do superhero
Okay.
poster on the fly. Gonna type this out here.
Pretty cool, though.
Let's see.
All that running on the CPU?
Okay, that looks better. Okay.
All right.
So, what do you think? Should we take it a little further?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do something a little bit more.
Yeah, I know.
Cool.
It runs great on CUDA, but
male and female superhero movie.
Yep, absolutely.
Slow.
In the style of Art Deco.
Very fast.
And that's going to give us a couple of cool images that the model is trying to generate pretty much real time.
All right.
Does look a little
I think we're looking
res,
pretty
though.
good here, John. What do you think, Ria?
I think it's great. The speed is phenomenal. It's giving me a lot of inspiration for different ideas that I can use. Definitely some improvements, but yeah, I think it looks great to me, John. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see designers use this and speed their creativity.
Absolutely.
And John, I think what we've seen here is the incredible power of the next generation Gaudi processor. And here I have the Gaudi 2 accelerator. This product comfortably outperforms the A100, ResNet 50,
I
BERT
thought it was
models,
running on
the
Raptor
June
Lake. This is
publication this
dumb.
year of the MLPerf benchmarks. And this model we're running is latent diffusion on PyTorch.
No.
So what do you think, Ria?
No,
Absolutely.
Intel.
Those words, the machine learning models,
Who cares?
they enjoy. So I think this is fun. We're definitely done with this challenge and looking forward to seeing what comes next.
Okay, this challenge complete.
So stupid.
Okay, so I think that was a great challenge, but I'm also encountering a little bit of a difficulty, Pat. So something that I really struggle with is you need a lot of devices in order to be able to do this type of content creation and being able to, train your deep learning models, and those devices don't even talk to each other.
So, I think, Ria, that sounds like a good challenge to me that we can attack.
Yeah, it's running on.
Right.
And with Centrino, integrated Wi-Fi, we created an industry. And two-in-ones and convertibles, we've just been driving these unique experiences throughout our history. So we start with people, what do they want, and design solutions for them.
Okay, perfect. So here's what I want. Maybe there's a solution out there for me.
Wait, so they just touched on
I need a
Raptor Lake
solution
like that?
to having to
Not
lug
giving
around
us
my very
pricing,
large
nothing,
monitor
just
all the
boom?
time.
Okay, so, making it a lot easier. And, I was in Korea a little while ago.
I don't know.
And when I was
guess
there
I'll have
with
to
our
wait.
partner, Samsung, they showed me a technology that I think might just solve that problem. And I'm delighted to welcome the CEO of Samsung Display, J.S. Choi, to stage.
Yeah, so I'm guessing. Okay, so what do you guys want me to do? Do you guys want me to keep watching this, or should I go and watch the Hard Work Connects video about it and we can react together to it?
So I saw this prototype when I was on a trip to South Korea, and I instantly saw the potential for our platform. And I just wanted to let everybody geek out a bit with JS, Ria, and I. So JS, what do you got here?
Yeah, it's great to be here. So this is a small PC, right? But sometimes we need a bigger screen. So let's see. I'll show you the magic. Whoa.
This is a rollable display. Pretty cool.
Okay, my turn. My turn.
Let me do a poll.
Okay, I gotta play. I gotta play.
Okay.
Online. I forgot what it's called. Straw poll?
Okay.
All right, I want to try. Phenomenal.
I'm sure this shows one of the great examples of future trend of PCs. It's because I'm here today to demonstrate this demo. It's very important for Samsung Display to collaborate between ecosystem developers in hardware and software together to achieve this kind of innovative form factor PCs for best user scenarios. So let me have this one.
Here, I'm going to create that.
So today, we announced world first 17-inch slidable display for PC globally for the first time.
Thank you.
Wow.
Okay, here you go. I'll put out a sample.
This device will satisfy Ria's need for larger screen.
Click on it and then tell me.
It's
you
a
can either
portability
choose
as
to
well.
stay at the Intel
With
event or watch
flexible display,
a
we
review
implemented
or two.
sliding
We'll do that
technology
together. So
rather
just
than
let me know.
foldable.
Click on the
Foldable is
link.
gone.
I'll post
But
it again.
it's just beginning, right? So with this slidable flex and software collaborations, we expect to see better and best user scenarios of PC near future.
JS, thank you for joining us here, right? And as the leading provider of OLED technologies, as many decades of partnership, this just convinces me we got a lot more coming between us.
The prices are out, the information is already out. We can go and check out reviews, or we can stay here and watch part of the event.
And again, continuing new form factors, we create new SDKs to enable those and find new experiences for our customers and community. And speaking of which, earlier this year at the CES show, we announced our acquisition of Screenovate. And this is now coming forward as Intel Unison. And to show an example of
watching the
Intel
Intel
Unison,
event, or we can
please
go
join
watch
our
some
demo
reviews
geek Craig
of the
coming to
Intel
stage.
processor.
Craig?
We could also do the watch party after the event.
Hello, Ria.
Hello.
How you guys doing today?
Doing great.
So, I'm here to show you off some amazing things that we're going to be doing with Unison.
Okay.
But for the first item, might as well pair some of this amazing software that we have in Unison, with some of this amazing hardware from Samsung Display. Okay, beautiful. But really, what we're saying with Unison and the promise of Unison is to bring all of our devices together, regardless of ecosystem or how they move and how they interact, all of our smart devices, again, really working for us in the way that we want to. And just like you said, Pat, with Intel, we're trying to solve the world's largest problems. Well, Pat and Ria, I have a lot of problems. So not those type of problems.
It's 50-50, so I'll stay, and afterwards we can do watch
something
party
like this.
or
I
whatever.
have my great little Evo PC here, and with just a quick, nice little tap, I'm going to go ahead and send it on over to my display. Oh, let's see here. And here we go. Ooh, and I've extended my display to this nice little 13 to 17-inch device, which helps me with a lot of my problems. I like to have a secondary screen for a lot of road warriors like us, and so I can take a little 13-inch tablet that I have in my backpack and then turn it into a 17-inch monitor. No back problems, no TSA.
So you're telling me that could I connect like my iPhone to the device or?
Ria, that's exactly what I'm telling you.
All right.
All of your devices. That includes iOS, an Android device like this, all working together for the first time with our Windows PC. So, Ria, your iPhone will be singing and dancing and playing with your Windows PC. Never lose focus. Get all of your notifications, all of your emails, all of your texts, and be able to bring that vision. And that's the dream, right, guys? All of our devices working for us.
I guess that's
and
cool.
we're here to bring that dream to you with Unison.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
I mean, WiDi existed already. This looks like just an extended display,
Unison
right?
is a new software solution promoting this open ecosystem approach. Solving
WiDi
Ria's
was
problem,
wireless display.
Right?
It's a standard that
enabling
Intel
the
put out.
iPhone for the first
I used
time,
it, but it
interacting
kind of died.
seamlessly with the PC, all our iOS, Android devices, and coming with new laptops this holiday season from our partners at Acer, HP, and Lenovo. And this is just the beginning of what we're going to be enabling with Intel Unison. So what do you think, Ria?
Absolutely. It's astonishing technology. You didn't say no when I asked if I could keep it, so I'm making some assumptions. But I would say that this challenge is complete.
All right.
Another developer challenge. Or they're going to do something.
Our final challenge of the morning.
Okay, final. This is the end. So right after that, we'll go and watch some
challenges
reviews.
we face technologies at the pace of change. And we can invent these innovations, but is the market ready for them? And sometimes the technology isn't ready for the market. And for instance, my passion for silicon photonics. And
well, our vision is to fully enable our chips with optical capabilities.
Wait,
such that our processors today, a piece of silicon, a piece of optics fiber going directly into that. The result of that will be much higher bandwidth, much higher communications capabilities at dramatically lower costs. Today, optics is a niche technology. Tomorrow, it's the mainstream of every chip that we build.
So, that was a video of me 2 decades ago predicting this moment.
Right, and that was the year I was born. So.
Oh, Rhea. You are killing me. You are killing me. And sometimes innovation takes a little bit longer than we want. Sometimes a decade to make a week of progress, sometimes a week to make a decade of progress.
Yeah, they hit play too early.
Absolutely, I love that quote, and I understand it takes a lot of hard work and talent to make these ideas into reality.
Yeah, and at Intel, we invest for the long term. We know that optics, this dramatic amount of bandwidth, moving from photons to electrons, crossing the optical electrical boundary, this was hard. And bringing light and bandwidth and low power right up to the package, and then scaling it for the industry to participate in it. So here we are, and we can now show this breakthrough. Our engineering team has done it, and they've built a detachable optical in-package connector coming directly into a glass substrate. Let's go live to our lab in Scotland and take a look to show it for the very first time.
You saw probably.
Russell?
A person pop.
Hi, Pat. Hi, Rhea. Welcome innovation to Scotland.
Whoa.
So what we're going to do today is, thanks everybody. So what we have behind us is a test and measurement system where we're going to test that detachable connector. So we have on the left-hand side a power meter. So what you're going to see is the power should flick up to the right-hand side. You'll see the needle in the power meter. On the right-hand side, the signal will go from red to green as we make the connection directly to the package with our detachable connector. So what you can see here with John, we have the demo unit here. We have a silicon photonic package.
That's actually pretty cool. It's something that people have wanted to do for a long time.
Very small form factor detachable connector. And we're going to measure the light that comes in and out of the silicon photonics chip with this setup, okay? So, first time we've done this live, obviously, so John's going to make the connection now.
They still need gates. And
keep an eye on the
can't
screen.
Really be optical, but
you'll be able to see the numbers as we make the connection.
Reduces
so here
heat.
We go. So we got power coming into directly the silicon photonic package. The green signal, that means we're measuring light all the way through the package. But we have to show that it's also detachable. So we're going to detach it, reattach it again, and we'll be able to show that here now live.
Did they just say that power came out through that optical?
So there we go, we detached it, signal's dropped off, reattaching it, and now the signal's jumping back up again, okay? So great result, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, the clapping sounds
weird. Hey, Russell and team, thank you so much. This is exactly how I dreamed of it decades ago, and you guys are now delivering it. Thank you. Congratulations to our team in Scotland.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can't believe I get to be part of this history-making moment.
Indeed, indeed. So, Rhea, thank you for joining me on this journey. In 30 years, when you're on stage as the CEO, remember to continue to pass on the shared passion that we have for the world of technology and enormous positive tech for good impact that it can have.
Oh, absolutely, Pat. And I think on behalf of developers everywhere, we're ready to get these technologies running, working for our workflows, optimized, accelerated, and changing the world.
So maybe a memento for you. Let's sign our poster
Connector
here
has
that we
30
did.
life cycles.
Grab your pen there, and you and I are going to sign it, and we're going to send you off here, right? This first superhero moment, right?
gonna add a smiley.
All right. There we go. Let's say thank you to Ria for joining us.
They both signed a poster and just gave it back to the one of the two. Man, this event is wild.
So throughout our time together
Pat
this
is actually
morning,
a
we've
great
talked about
guy,
our
like in
commitment
terms
to
of presentation.
being open, systems
Very
and
good
software and hardware
presenter.
standards. And our collective potential as an industry is unleashed when we enable openness, choice, and trust. So to close out, I want to bring on stage a special guest, someone that I have personally admired for decades, a no bigger champion of open collaborative ecosystems, the godfather of the open source movement, the creator of Linux kernel and of Git. Please join me in welcoming none other than Linus Torvalds.
Oh, wait. Didn't Linus set it in Intel?
Hi, Pat. Thanks.
You know, Linus, it is so great to have you at Intel Innovation. You know, we've both been around the industry a few years.
Yep.
Last year.
You remember this?
I do remember that. I lost my own copy a few years ago, apparently.
Well, today we are fixing that. I've signed this for you here.
Thanks.
And when I wrote this book, it was the Bible for the 8386, and this was really your beginning.
This was in January last year. Linus Torvalds tears into Intel favors AMD.
On the project that wasn't Linux yet. Before I actually started doing an operating system, I was really just trying to learn about the new PC I'd bought. And this was the CPU side of that journey, right? And it took a while to learn the CPU and realize that what I'm actually writing is an operating system. So this, in a sense, predates my Linux work, but was very integral to it.
Yeah, and you know, maybe you could just take us back to 1991 when you were first getting started on the project, and tell us a little bit about that.
So it's hard to even think back.
Is this an AI-generated Linus?
It was different for me. I came from a home PC kind of background and did not know the x86 architecture at all, but decided that this was the way into it, and bought my first 386 and couldn't afford
What's wrong
the
with the
commercial
camera,
Unixes I wanted.
Ah,
And,
so you were cheap.
I was cheap.
Dutch
No, I prefer the word poor.
Poor, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'd grown up with computers since I was about 11 and was used to just writing my own projects. So the fact that I could not afford Unix myself, and I had this shiny new PC, and I had been exploring the CPU side of it, and because the 386 has the task switching hardware built in, it had been one of the things I'd been exploring. And when you do task switching and do all the low-level grotty paging details that this book literally goes through and explains, you kind of end up with a project that is the beginning of a kernel.
Yeah, looks like an operating system. Yeah. So here we are today. You know, tell us, what are the must-dos for a thriving open source ecosystem?
I think the must-do, one thing I really strive for is to make sure that people feel like they are part of, I don't want to say the community. I mean, it is part of the community, but they're part of making decisions, and they really own the end result.
Invested in it.
They're invested in it. And it's obviously why I chose the license I chose, making sure that I don't have any special rights. And I really love open source. I love working in a community where it's about open discussion and really getting things done together. And that's actually surprising to me, even now, because I always, and I still feel that I'm not a people person. But at the same time...
I've heard that criticism of you.
Yeah, no, I'm not the only one who thinks I'm not a people person. But at the same time, it's been what has really motivated me for the last 30 plus years.
So let's go forward, 10, 20 years. What's your vision for open source in the future?
Yeah, no, this is not me. I'm not a visionary. I call myself
AMD or Intel then?
Engineer.
We don't know
plotting
yet.
Engineer.
And I say that with pride. I think you need the people who who have the big ideas, but you definitely, in engineering, a lot of it is getting all the small details right and looking at in front of your feet instead of looking 20 years out. So I look a couple of releases ahead, and I kind of have a notion of what's coming, but my horizon is about 6 months away, not 20 years away.
Okay, so I'd like to introduce you to Linus Torvalds, my favorite plotting engineer.
Thank you, Pat.
Okay, so it's been an hour and 15 minutes.
You know, your career, your impact, the industry that you've affected is nothing short of spectacular, Linus. And, you know, I mean, you and I, we're not finished yet. We got a lot of time in front of us yet. But we'll be realizing the impact of your contributions for many, many years to come. And it's with that in mind that today we are honored to give you and recognize you in our community as we come here together, right? You know, we would like to say that you are the first recipient of the first ever Intel Innovation Award.
Jesus Christ, Intel.
Well, thank you, Pat. I don't know what to say. That is actually very nice and classy.
I don't know what to say. You guys give me
we had a water bottle as a stand-in yesterday
nice.
during the rehearsal.
This was a little nicer, right? Yeah.
Which wasn't so nice and classy.
And then the second generation of that trophy
absolutely thrilled to have this conversation with Linus and I this morning. We recorded a long interview yesterday. We'll be posting that on our website. And truly, I couldn't think of a more honoring person for an open community than Linus Torvalds. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you.
You know, we've had an incredible morning together, but this is just the beginning. We're just getting started.
No.
The next
this
2
is
days,
the end.
labs,
Stop
demos, show floor, cool, geeky things that we're going to do. I encourage you to sign up for the Developer Cloud. You know, download our One API toolkit.
Right after this,
we're
watching reviews
with us
just to
because
see
our
what
objective
people
here
are
is that
saying about it.
developers, whether software or hardware, you see the future, and our job at Intel is to open that future up to you, working together on open frameworks that you can trust. I'm excited we've had the opportunity to come together to learn, grow, build, challenge, and help each other. And together, we've taken a peek into the future, one that we will create together. Thank you.
Okay, this is the end. Perfect. I'm gonna be right back right after now. I just have to go do some toilet stuff, and I'll be right back. Inserting an ad now, hopefully. If it doesn't show up, that means that
Day one
you have an ad
keynote
blocker
is
on.
in the books, and there is so much to unpack. Welcome to our post-show, Innovation 2022, live from San Jose.
Finding the first review.
What a great keynote. Pat is on his way back to our blue carpet to debrief, so don't go anywhere. We saw a lot of the same themes from his keynote last year, but there was one fresh focus on this new, almost post-pandemic era.
That's a nice thumbnail.
Technology is increasingly central to every aspect of
human
existence. And as we look ahead to the next decade, we will now see continued moves to digital for everything.
So guys, all the
connect, develop, and operate.
Okay.
All right, let's bring Ravi back to get his reaction to this live keynote. Ravi.
Let's go take a look at this. It's going to be very loud. Watch your ears, friends.
Lake was launched only about 10 months ago, and it's already been replaced with...
Wait. Is everybody who had an ad back? Please let me know. If you had your ad and you're back, let me know so we can start watching this. Okay, my headphones should be working now.
Raptor.
Nope, they're still not working. Okay, so the whole guys was Eber talking in this video. So let me know if the volumes are fine. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe reduce it a little bit because I think it was a little bit too loud. And here you go.
So guys, Alder Lake was launched only about 10 months ago, and it's already been replaced with Raptor Lake. And Intel has a good reason for that. AMD's new Ryzen 7000 series.
Yes,
those processors
indeed.
are a heck of a lot faster than anything out there right now, and Intel needed to respond fast. But anyways, what are the most important things folks need to know about Raptor Lake right after AMD launched their new lineup? More interesting with
Okay, so what was told, you know, the 7600X is 6-core, 12 threads. The 13600K is 20 threads, so 14 cores, 20 threads. You can see with the rest. Let's see, does that make a huge difference? We're going to go to more power but less. Oh, that's interesting. What is that about?
TDPs are as useless as an ashtray on a motorbike. And in this case, adding more clocks, cache, and cores to an architecture naturally adds to power. But don't tell Intel that, because
the
according
TDP
to
are
the raw
125.
specs,
Okay, so the turbos are 253 watts. So that's PL2. So that's the highest power consumption in a restricted environment. So without the multi-core enhancements is going to be 253 watts instead of 241, which was for the last generation. And the 13600K, ouch. So it went up 30 watts. Because the 12600K was so great because against the 5600X, it didn't consume, like basically 150 watts was reasonable. 181 watts is pretty high. And if we go to the 12700, it was 190 watts and now it's 253 watts. That's kind of insane. At least for the US. I'm taking a look at chat. So what are you guys saying? Raptor Lake is still better than the 7000 series. AMD at 95C all day. I don't like it. I'll go Intel instead and undervolt as well. Cache is terrible. No, they both have a pretty good cache structure. The 13900K has a little more than before. But if you take a look at the... I believe the 13900K has more L2 than the 12th series. What? Nope. Thanks. 13th gen is better than Zen 4, but Zen 4 3D will be faster than 13th gen. Not quite sure about that. So here's the thing. I like both. I like both platforms as long as the price is right. Right now, it seems like the 13th gen is not going to be that much worth it. Let me just show the prices real quick. Okay. So here are the prices. Or at least the price per mil or something like that. It's not the official price that you'll see on Newegg and stuff, but it's close enough. So the 13600KF is going to be $294. That's for the retailer to pay, I guess. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it's going to be $299 up to $329, I believe, for the 13600K. Hold on. There was a leaked Newegg one. Hold on. Where is it? There you go. Okay. This should be it. So the 13600K will be $329. Now, as is, it has a lot more cores than the 5600X. So it has 8 P cores and it has 6 P cores and 8 E cores. Yeah, 6 plus 8. So in multi-core, it's definitely going to be better than the 5600X. It is $30 more expensive though, unless you go with the no graphics version, which is $309. So still worth it, but man, is the gaming performance good? Well, let's just check. I have the freaking review open. Let's take a look. Gaming. Wait. The reviews are not out? Oh, I thought it was reviewed today. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to wait even longer. That sucks. Prices are on there. No price hike on the mid to top tier, which is great. The lower SKUs got more expensive. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, that's it. So the lower SKUs got more expensive. That's the problem. The 12600K was like the ideal CPU to purchase. You bought it for like $270, $280, and you had way better than the 5600X in terms of performance. Now, with the 7600X on the map, oh wait, hold on. So I call BS on the leaked prices. These are probably not even just leaked. Let me check Newegg. Newegg. Wait, are pre-orders open now? Yeah, so 650. Am I on? Yeah, okay, 659. So what's the leaked pricing for it? 659. So yeah, these seem like the proper pricing. The leaked pricing of the 13900 kit was 659. The actual pricing for pre-order is that same price. What about? Do they have the? Wow. Okay, no. Do they have the 13.6 for pre-order? Yeah, 329. So these are leaked pricing, but they're the actual pricing. So these are actual pricings. I paid $220 for my 10600K 3 years ago. The equivalent part is now $330. It's not equivalent though. That's the problem. The equivalent part for a 10600K would be like a 12400, and the 12400 would kick the ass of your 10600K. 5600X has low barrier of entry. Yes, the problem is that the 5600X is expensive. Let me explain. I don't know if I can pre-order it right now. I don't think so. Yeah. Whoop. Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about the 7600X. Yeah, 5600X has a super low barrier of entry. You can buy that. You can buy a motherboard. You can buy the RAM. You can buy everything for it on the cheap. The AM4 platform is still the best value right now. The problem with the 7000 series and with Intel's 12th gen when it came out, and subsequently the 13th gen, is that the barrier of entry is high. You're going to have to buy a $125+ motherboard to even get close to a fine experience. With AMD, generally speaking, $125 should be enough because AMD motherboards are built well now. When it comes to Intel, though, you have to be careful. If you're buying a 13900K, you can't skimp on the motherboard. If you're buying a 13700K, you can't skimp on the motherboard. I would argue now that the 13600K is 180 watts, you can't skimp on the motherboard either. And with the fact that the 5800X 3D is still an insane gaming CPU, I might actually just say go AM4 right now if all you do is gaming. Don't forget you need a beefy cooler for any Zen 4. Yes. Have you seen Roman's video, Bauer's video on the subject? It's crazy. He delidded a 7950X. So actually I could probably show it to you. Let me go to YouTube and then go Bauer. Here you go. Let's take a look. So what he did is he delidded a 7950X, or I think it was the 7700X, or he killed the 7700X. I'm not sure. Let's take a look at what it looks like. Okay, so this is what he did. He delidded it. He added liquid metal. Now, sure, liquid metal will make a difference, but the difference here will probably be like max 5 degrees Celsius. So what he did was he delidded the CPU. He did a direct to die liquid cooler, so he removed the IHS from the equation, and he got 20 degrees Celsius lower temperatures. 20 degrees. The IHS is just too thick for cooler compatibility with AM4. So yes, you will need a beefy cooler for AM4. Personally, what I'd like to do is I'd like to buy a 7600X, which still runs hot. If you go full load, it'll still hit 90-something degrees. I want to thin down the IHS to half the height of the IHS by sanding it or something, maybe milling it, if I can find a way to mill on the cheap. And then I want to go ahead and install an AIO, but install it with like washers and things so that it gets lower than it's supposed to. At that point, I'll sort of have an idea of how much that IHS gives makes a difference in terms of the performance of the temperatures that you're going to get with Zen 4 CPUs. Like, they are running hot, point blank. Zen 4 CPUs, the 7000 series, run hot when at full load. When gaming, they're perfectly fine. You'll never cross, 80 degrees Celsius. But when they're running full loads, like, video rendering or whatever, they are not cool. You need a beefy cooler. 92C for 7600X. Yep. 7950X was the delidded one. Okay, perfect. It was a 12 core, but he broke an 8 core. Yeah, he broke a 7700X. So wait, no, this is a 12 core. Yeah, this is the 7900X. 13th gen. Release a video from PC World. You mean PC World released a video for 13th gen? Did you see eco mode of the 7950X? Yes, that's very impressive. But eco mode, it was something with the 5000 series too. You could put a 5950X in eco mode and it would not consume anything more than 65 watts and was still a very, very powerful CPU. It just seems like with Zen 4, that is even more the case. Like, the difference between a non-eco mode and eco mode is even slimmer than with the previous generations. Install RGB on the I/O chest, please. I/O chipset, please. I mean, you could do like the underglow thing, right? Like under a car, you can get underglow. You could do the same thing with chiplets, because AMD's chiplets have like a gap under it. Yeah, AMD made a mistake trying to make AM4 coolers compatible with AM5. 100% agree with you on that, especially for the fact that, and once again, the source for this is Derbauer here, the compatibility is not with every single AM4 cooler. A cooler that requires a backplate will not be compatible with AM5. Still, 70 to 80 degrees C for gaming is still too hot. I disagree with that specifically. 70 to 80 is perfectly fine for gaming. 95, for example, is where I personally draw the limit. I don't get why they kept the compatibility with AM4 coolers, but a third of coolers don't work anyways. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Also, take a look at this. This was such a sad moment.
To the 7950X.
He just said it
for whatever
weird.
reason, the slider just moved very quickly. I'm not quite sure if it's already deleted, but it felt a bit weird. Now I can see what the problem is. Yep, RIP 7700X.
It might seem like it's not a big deal, but this here contains layers of copper and essentially means that it's shorted out here. If he puts it on, turns it on, it's probably not going to work. What the hell? How am I getting spam from... Hide user? I'm getting spam in chat? Is that a thing? I've never had that before. They're meant to work at 95C now. No, nothing is meant to work at 95C. It's not the optimal operating temperature. If you lower the temperatures by 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, then you will get more performance out of the Ryzen 7000 CPU. Derbauer proved it. So while AMD can say that it's meant to run at 95C, if you run it at a lower temperature, it's simply better. Same thing happened with the 5700 XT, the GPU in this case. Remember how they said, yeah, the T-junction temperature running at the hotspot running at 110 degrees Celsius is fine. It's not. It was never. It's not. It's fine as in it won't self-destruct. It's not as in it's not the best scenario for that GPU. Mac owners wondering why people are complaining about a 24/7 temperature below 105C. Well, because Apple is just like, yeah, let's prioritize silence over everything else. Barrier of entry is high, and I wonder if they can keep the same motherboards for 3 generations at least. Intel? No. It will basically not be... for Intel, there's no way that Z690 will have a successor. 790, sorry. Yes, but it won't break and you still have a warranty. Yeah, of course. I never said that it would. I'm just saying that an operating temperature of 95C is not ideal. It is perfectly fine. I mean, my RTX 2080 was doing perfectly fine for a really long time. It's safe to run at 95C under the guise if it's designed to run. Exactly. It's safe to run at perfect. The Lawrence adoring fan. This is exactly what it should be worded as. The CPU is safe to run at 95C. But it's not necessarily designed to run at 95C. That's like saying the 12900K was designed to run at 97C or whatever. It thermal throttles, but it still performs well. If they get rid of DDR4 on Intel, it will give me more die area, possibly. All right, guys. So let's recap. On the Arc side, we got the A770 that was announced, 329. Do I think it's dead? Not necessarily. So essentially, what we're getting is a better GPU than the 3060, and considering that the 3060 will stay for a long time, because, I mean, as you saw, NVIDIA made it clear that RTX 30 series is now just coexisting with the RTX 40 series. So we're not getting a 4060 for the next year, or at least 9 months, something like that. So it's better than the 3060. It's technically cheaper. Let me go on Newegg and check. Intel said that the 3060 was $418. Let's take a look. Nope. Right here. Gigabyte 3060 12 gig. Let's see by lowest price. So a 3060 can go all the way down to $324. Okay. So oh, that's an open box. Let me check there you go. 369. So 329 exactly. So John says it right. You don't want to pay the early adopter fee. Technically, it's an early adopter discount, I guess, because they say that it beats the 3060. We saw the charts. It technically does beat the 3060, except when it doesn't, meaning that the game just is borked because of it. They're still optimizing drivers. You risk not having driver updates if Intel decides to cancel Arc, which I don't think will happen. The 3060, though, on its end has more features. You get RTX broadcast. You get DLSS, which is currently available in more games than XeSS, and other things, I'm guessing, that NVIDIA also has that runs on their hardware. Now, 329 for an XE is fine, but let's take a look at the 6650 XT. It is priced at a minimum of $319. Now, let me just check something. 6650 XT. I'm just trying to get like a sense of its performance. Okay, so essentially the 6650 XT is more powerful than the 3060, but of course you lose out on some of the features that are exclusive to NVIDIA. So as is, the 6650 XT currently is the best value. Now, is the Intel Arc GPU going to be better? Yes. It's likely going to be better than the 6650 XT, but you're paying the early adopter fee. You want to play you want to play Spore? I don't know. I like to play Spore often, and if I wanted to play Spore, I'm pretty sure the game just wouldn't work. What is the warranty period on these CPUs? Anyways, CPUs is usually 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know about Intel, but AMD is 3 years. Intel may cancel Alchemist, maybe even Battle Age in desktop. They're not going to cancel Alchemist, that's for sure. As for not canceling Arc completely, I don't know. Newegg prices will screw you. 6800 XT is getting that monster profile soon. Yes, I talked about it in today's video. The RMB, Radeon Monster Profile, is a utility by none other than the guy who made the Hydra overclocking utility for CPUs, and it increases performance by like 15%. Okay, 11 to 13% for AMD GPUs, RX 6000 specifically, and I think that might put the 6650 XT well above a RTX 3060 and possibly above the Arc GPU, but that we'll have to wait and see. But this is overclocking, so just keep that in mind. The 600 XT is also faster than the 3060. Yes, the 6600 XT, so the non-50 XT, is also faster. 3060 is overpriced compared to the but it just does have more features. Some people would like to pay for features, and this is where they draw the line. 95C is just the max temperature. I've only used the CPUs for rendering 3D workloads. All right. Saw a 6700 XT for the price of a 3060. It's possible, and 6700 XT would be an even better choice. Let me just go ahead and do a quick search. Lowest price, 419. This is what I see. 419 versus 369, so the 3060, I would get that. How can he be so much better than all of the AMD staff? I don't get that. Anyways, guys, I actually need to go to the office. So to recap real quick, Arc A770, 329, Raptor Lake starting at 309 with the 13600KF. Is Raptor Lake worth it? We have to wait until the reviews comes out and we can see the difference between the 7600X and the 13600K. Is Arc going to be worth it? I think maybe, but once again, we have to wait for the reviews. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for today's live stream. Hey, I like this. I think I'm going to do this more often, maybe weekly. I don't know. You guys let me know. Stay frosty, my dudes, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's a dog. Okay, a dog just came into my room. Super excited and then just left. I think she has the zoomies, which means I got to walk her. So stay frosty, my dudes, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm going to end the stream right now. Actually, I'm going to put an ad. So stay if you don't have an ad blocker. Help me out a little bit. And now for the people who have an ad blocker, can you disable it for a couple of days just on my videos specifically, or at least whitelist my channel or something like that? Actually, you don't have to. I know you won't. It's fine. What was the release date for the 13th gen? I don't know, but I believe it's been rumored for October. So it's going to be mid-October. So October 12th? Not sure. Would have to check. All right. Probably the ad is over. So stay frosty, my dudes, and I'll see you on the next one. Wait a second. Somebody... Oh, crap. I missed it. Somebody sent a paid chat. Okay, Mac owners wonder. Oh, yeah. Okay, that was the one. All right. Take care, guys.